Hi, this is Prayas from No Nonsense Airbnb, and in this video, I'm going to show you 10 practical tips on how to increase your Airbnb bookings. So let's get on to them. The first one is Wi-Fi speed. Okay, everyone has internet. We all have great Wi-Fi speeds, and at the same time, everyone who's traveling is looking for a great Wi-Fi speed. Okay. And I've seen people really struggling to figure out which place has a good Wi-Fi speed. And for some reason, people do not really highlight it. Okay. There are two ways you can really highlight your Airbnb, your Wi-Fi speed. The first one is, and Airbnb realizes this, they've recently released a new feature where you can verify your Wi-Fi speed. For that, you need to go into your Airbnb app. Just go to the edit listing page, and there you will see an option to verify your Wi-Fi speed. You need to be at your Airbnb when you do that. It will record your Wi-Fi speed, and then it will display that speed as a verified speed of your property. Okay, very important, because that will get you lots more booking, because then people can safely, book your property. They know it is verified speed. Okay, that's one thing. If you can't do that for some reason, highlight your Wi-Fi speed everywhere. Okay? People need internet, people need fast internet. If there is space in your title, in the topmost title of your property, highlight 50 Mbps or 1 gigabyte per second. Whatever it is, if it is considerable, if you consider that as a fast, highlight it in your title, or highlight it in a description in maybe the first, second line, third line, or fourth line. Mention it in your description, title, everywhere, because Wi-Fi speed is a deal breaker for a lot of people nowadays. Next is damage deposit. Keep your damage deposit low on Airbnb. Okay, it is a common misconception. People think having a greater damage deposit protects you. It is not true. Having an increased damage deposit doesn't increase your safety or protection, because you as a host are always covered by the Airbnb's $1 million insurance, right? Let's say if your property has $500 damage deposit, Airbnb, when it comes to claiming that amount, they will never tell you where that money is coming from, whether it is coming from the damage deposit or coming from the insurance. Okay, it doesn't really matter. However, damage deposit is important to set it on your listing, just to feel the guest make feel responsible. Okay, just get a bit of their skin in the game, but it doesn't really increase your protection. Okay, and a lot of people keep their damage deposit so high that it scares people away. Keep it reasonable, just so the people who are going to be staying in your property feel a little bit responsible. But it doesn't really add any value to you as a host, because you are covered anyway. So keep it minimum, keep it $100, maybe $150, but don't really go too high, because I've seen properties trying to get a damage deposit of $1,500 or $2,000. That's extortionate. I'm sure a lot of people look at that damage deposit and decide to book somewhere else, because no one really want to pay that much or block that money for a few days, figuring out whether someone really let them go scot-free or not. Next is, keep your listing title precise, full of useful keywords. Okay, that is the prime real estate. Okay, the first thing anyone sees when they are in the search result, the first thing they see is your photo, is the first photo of your property, and then they see the title. Okay, and I've seen people wasting that prime real estate by using things which are obvious. Like, for example, someone renting an apartment in London, in the title they will say London, 2-bedroom apartment. Okay, sleeps 4. It doesn't really add any value, right? People who are looking at your property, they know they are looking at properties in London. They can filter 2-bedroom apartments. Okay, Be creative. Okay? Try and give them information about your property, which is really going to make them click onto your listing out of the other 50 or 100 they are now looking at your screen. Okay. It's the idea of the title is to make it pop out in the crowd. Okay. Use something really creative which catches the eye, maybe use some symbols, whatever you can, but please don't waste that prime space into something which is obvious to people when they're looking at your listing. Next is make your property pet friendly. There is a huge gap in demand and supply for pet friendly spaces. I know this is a controversial topic, but trust me, if you really want a spike in your bookings right away, try and make your property pet friendly. Airbnb has recently launched an update where now you can define a pet cleaning fee on your listing as well. Try and make your property pet friendly. People traveling with pets are more responsible than we think. They pay more, they stay more, okay? And they really look after your property, they understand their responsibilities, and they carry everything they need, okay? If you're worried about pets going into certain areas which you don't really want them to go, you can create your house rules and tell people, look, I'm letting you come here with your pet, but you have to make sure they don't go into beds and carpet areas or anything you want, but try and make your property pet friendly. It will definitely get you a lot more bookings than you think. Next is upload plenty of photos. Okay, I've seen people, they have a 3 bedroom apartment. They've barely loaded 15 photos. That is nothing. Imagine if you're going on that once in a year holiday and you're trying to book a property and you can't even see what's in there, right? Upload as many photos as you can, as long as they are not duplicate and as long as they are adding value. Upload lots of photos, open the drawers in the kitchen, show them what kind of pots and pans and glasses and mugs they will have access to, show them the view from the window if you have, give them a view of the exterior, how the property looks from outside, give them all the views of the spaces in your property, give them lots of photos of the toilets, bathrooms, beds, what kind of kitchen equipment you have, toaster, oven, everything you have in your property which you want them to see to make a decision. Add lots of photos. And the next tip is related to the same. When you upload your photos, make sure you push the 5 best photos at the top. Okay. The reason for that is the first photo becomes visible as a thumbnail when people are searching for properties. And then when they click on your property, along with the description and the title, they see the first 5 photos. They have to be the most attractive photos of your property. Try and mix it from different areas of your property. Don't try and have 5 photos of the same space in your property because it's very, very important. So push the best 5 photos at the top and it will definitely get you a lot more attraction from the guest. Next is keep your check-in and check-out time reasonable. Okay. I've seen people having a checkout time of 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning, right? It is not convenient for people. Just imagine you were traveling somewhere on a business trip or you're partying the night before and the next morning you have to get out of the property. When people are booking properties, they think of all these things, okay? They imagine, oh my God, is he going to ask me to check out at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m.? Or people travel from faraway places and sometimes they arrive too early in the day. Try and keep your check-in time to a reasonable amount. 11 o'clock checkout time and 3 o'clock check-in time is the industry standard on Airbnb. Okay, it works. It is the most optimum setting. So try and keep your checkout time and check-in time to this or somewhere around that. If you squeeze it too much, then it gives you a very little time to clean the property. And if you expand it too much, then it causes inconvenience to your guests. So keep an eye on your check-in and check-out time which you're offering to people. Next is keep watching the amenities section on Airbnb. Airbnb keeps updating that every week. Okay. Keep checking it. Make sure, whatever they've added, if you have it, make sure you check it straight away, because you know what, that is a criteria Airbnb uses to identify properties which are well equipped and the ones which are not. Okay, so it's your responsibility to make sure your amenities section on Airbnb listing correctly reflects what's in your property. If I've seen people who've been hosting for many years, and they've never been in the amenities section ever since they're listed. Big mistake. Okay, make sure you keep looking, keep watching the amenities section on Airbnb. They keep updating it. They are adding more and more amenities for people to share and describe and all that kind of stuff. So, amenities very important. Next is self check-in. Try and offer self check-in, not just because of COVID. People always have preferred self check-in option. Okay, the last thing anyone wants at the end of a 5-hour journey is to speak to someone. Install a cheap lockbox somewhere, get a smart lock, but meet and greet is not such a great idea. If you are one of them who goes there and meets people, people do not really want to coordinate their arrival time. They may stop somewhere on their way to have another drink or a coffee. No one really wants to commit to their arrival time nowadays. Okay, try and offer self check-in. It will definitely get you a lot more bookings, because people, when they're searching, Airbnb now lets them search for the properties which are only self check-in. And the last but the most important one, do not set your prices manually. Okay, or do not use Airbnb smart pricing. Use dynamic pricing tools. Okay, there are so many dynamic pricing tools available nowadays in the market. They do a lot of things which you humans can't do, or Airbnb smart pricing definitely doesn't do. Try and use a dynamic pricing tool. They will update your prices of your property multiple times a day, just like hotels and airlines do. So if you're not using any of the dynamic pricing tool, I'm going to drop a few links in the description below. Try, explore them, but please try and make use of one of them, because it is definitely going to make your property a lot more competitive in the local area. And whoever is not using it is going to be out of your competition straight away. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do like and subscribe to my channel. That will encourage me to make more such videos. Until next time, bye bye.